Good Wednesday morning, everyone. And I hope your week is going well. I know that here on Inspiration for Today, I'm truly enjoying the decision I made on what this week should be. We just had Easter a couple days ago, and when I was really thinking and praying about, well, what should we talk about this week? It just occurred to me that there are skeptics that don't believe that Jesus actually rose from the dead, thus conquering death. And I thought, why don't we talk about the proofs that the resurrection is true? And that's what we're doing this week. And I think it helps build our faith too. We forget some of these just obvious things everyone says, well, it's a big leap of faith to believe in Jesus. And it doesn't need to be. It is a step in faith for sure. But it's the logical conclusion when you look at all the facts. Some of those facts include today's proof that Jesus rose from the dead that we're going to talk about, and it's a very, very obvious one, and that is that the tomb was empty. The tomb was empty. There was no body anymore. And so right off, there had to be some explanation for that. And so the chief priests, and in fact, in Matthew chapter 28, it tells that this is a problem. It brings it up because, of course, the Roman guards were put there. And they were supposed to guard the tomb. And it says, when the chief priests had met with the elders and they devised a plan, and they gave the soldiers a large sum of money, telling them, you are to say that the disciples came during the night and they stole the body away while we were asleep. And if this report goes on, so the soldiers took the money and did as they were instructed. And this story has been widely circulated among the Jews to this day. They wanted people to believe that these trained Roman guards, with what they thought was their life on the line, slept through the disciples coming and moving a huge stone rock from in front of the tomb, and they able to move that, and then, of course, steal the body, and then, if that weren't enough, put the rock back. Because if they didn't put the stone back, the huge stone back, then immediately the guards would have known that the body was stolen. So they would have had to put it back. All this while they are sleeping. That is so highly unlikely. Because remember, those guards thought that their life was on the line. If they failed at what they did, they could be put to death. No. That story holds no water. Is that the phrase? Holds no water. But I know it's not true. And they would not have allowed that to happen. Now, let's just say for some reason we think that would possibly have been true. That somehow, even despite all the things I just listed, they still were able to come and steal the body. There's a tremendous, even more of a fallacy about that. Because had the disciples have come and stolen the body, and by the way, let me step back just 1 second, because the Sanhedrin, who didn't believe in resurrection, If they wanted to, if they could find the body anywhere, maybe then or later, they would have put it on immediately on public display and exposed the hoax. So not only did they not have the body in the tomb, they obviously never found it later. Now, going back to the disciples stealing the body, then here's just think about the problem with that. Had they have stolen the body, then they would have known absolutely that the whole thing was a hoax and it was not true. And therefore, because of that, if they knew it was a lie, there is no way humanly possible that they would end up going to their own death. Never saying, oh, we just made that up, therefore I can live. No one will die for what they know to be a lie. Now, we kind of talked about that as proof of the sincerity of, in the last 2 days, of the eyewitness testimonies of the risen body. Because, you see, just the opposite is true. Not only would, if you had stolen the body, would you not be willing, and you knew it was a lie, you would not be willing to die for that. But the opposite is just as true, and that's what we've talked about a lot this week, that those who saw the risen Jesus, it changed their life. Time and again, it changed their life. It's enough for me. That seems like a perfect proof. How about you? Now, there is one other kind of, I think it's a fact we need to consider in this. Because here you have Jesus, who is teaching. His whole teaching is about teaching the truth and loving others and doing the right thing in every circumstance and living a life of moral purity. And then you're saying that his followers, his disciples, would go and steal the body and create history's biggest lie so that somebody teaching follow the truth would be followed. Again, is that nonsensical? It seems nonsensical to me. What do you think about it? Oh man, none of that. The whole idea that Jesus's body was somehow misplaced or stolen or whatever does not make any sense. No, the empty tomb, the no body ever found other than the risen body, to me, that again, this one proof that Jesus conquered death and rose from the dead would be enough. But we're talking about 5, and there's probably more than that. There are. But we're giving this 5 days. And each one is so powerful. I hope it's blessing your life. It's blessing mine. Hey, there's another one that we're going to talk about tomorrow, and it's just as good as this one. And so I hope to see you then. God bless. Walk closely with your Lord, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give